Glad to have you here for this ceremony to celebrate, as we prepare to celebrate World Refugee Day in Houston, Texas. Every year, approximately 60,000 refugees from around the world come to the United States, and some 3,000 of those come to the city of Houston. When they come to the city of Houston, they join an influx of immigrants and expats and a vibrant, very diverse international community. But they come with particular needs and requirements, and we as a city need to respond. Refugees come to Houston fleeing violence or persecution. And we have a responsibility to make sure that they are safe while they're here, but also that they have a good chance to integrate into the broader Houston community. World Refugee Day is an opportunity to highlight the many agencies and organizations that are involved with refugee resettlement, and also to shine a spotlight on the various refugee communities that exist in Houston that many Houstonians may not be aware of. Doing the work of refugee resettlement requires lots of collaboration and cooperation from many different types of organizations, and the City of Houston is proud to be a pivot point for much of that work. I have a proclamation to present today for World Refugee Day, but more importantly, I'm happy to stand with the committee that makes that event happen. They represent some of the great diversity in Houston. They're people with caring hearts and a great deal of commitment to our city. Now, World Refugee Day is actually, like a lot of things in the city of Houston, we like to do things in a big way. It's actually World Refugee Week, which will start on Monday, June 11th, with a screening of the documentary Welcome to Shelbyville at the Houston Public Library, the Central Library, followed by a young professional mixer on June 14th, and then ending with the main event and celebration on Saturday, June 16th at the Baker Ripley Community Center. So while we are celebrating World Refugee Day, there are some other events leading up to it. Now, I've already given the majority of what's in the proclamation, but I want to highlight the organizations. The following agencies currently participate in the Houston Refugee Consortium: the Alliance for Multicultural Community Services, Bilingual Education Institute, Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston, Houston Community College, Interfaith Ministries for Greater Houston, and YMCA International Services. The consortium has collaborated with the following key community partners to plan an event celebrating World Refugee Day in Houston: Amana Refugee Services, Bhutanese Community of Houston, Chinese Community Center, Community Cloth, Epiphany Community Health Outreach Services, HK Capital Management, Humanitarian.net, Houston Grand Opera, City of Houston's Office of International Communities, Nations Sport, Neighborhood Centers, Inc., Partnership for the Advancement and Immersion of Refugees, Refugee Services of Texas, Texas Children's Health Plan, Titan Management, and the Great Physicians RX. The City of Houston is pleased to welcome all refugees from around the world who we trust will find a greater opportunity in Houston than they could anywhere else. And I'm proud, as the mayor of Houston, to welcome them home and to proclaim June 16th, 2012 as World Refugee Day in the city of Houston, Texas. And so to the co-chairs, I'm going to offer this proclamation formally to you. And we'll move this out of the way, and we'll take a picture in a minute. But again, thank you
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
for what you're doing. Absolutely.